If you've been feeling tired in a way that doesn't go away even after a full night's sleep, and along with that, you're constantly thirsty. You've probably heard someone say, "That's just age." And that's exactly where I need to stop you. Fatigue and excessive thirst are not symptoms of aging. They're signs. And a sign is something your body sends when it's trying to talk to you. I'm not here to scare you. Quite the opposite. Most of the time, these two signs show up at a stage when there's still time to do something about it. The problem is when we take 2 or 3 years to listen. So, over the next few minutes, I want to calmly explain what your body may be trying to tell you when this can be normal and, most importantly, when you need to pay attention and see a doctor. And if this is something that's part of your life, or the life of someone in your family, subscribe to the channel. Here, we talk about blood sugar, diabetes, and prediabetes honestly, with no miracle promises and no complicated medical jargon. Even just hitting the like button helps me get this information to more people our age. Let's get started. Why these two symptoms go together? Pay close attention to this part, because once you understand it, you'll never look at these two symptoms the same way again. Fatigue and thirst may seem like two separate things. They're not. Many times, they have the same cause: too much sugar circulating in the blood. Let me explain it in the simplest way possible. The food you eat eventually gets turned into glucose, which is your body's fuel. For that glucose to leave your bloodstream and enter your cells, you need a key. That key is called insulin. Now imagine that, over time, the lock starts getting harder and harder to turn. The key is still there, but it has trouble working. That's what we call insulin resistance, and it's the silent beginning of prediabetes. What happens when the key doesn't turn? The glucose stays floating around in your bloodstream, and then two things happen at the same time. First, your cells don't get the fuel they need. You ate, you had a good lunch, but the energy didn't get where it needed to go. The result? That strange kind of fatigue that isn't sleepiness. It's a real lack of energy. That feeling after lunch when all you want to do is sit down on the couch and never get back up. Second, your body has to find a way to get that extra sugar out of circulation, and the way it does that is by getting rid of it through your urine. But to flush sugar out, your kidneys need water. A lot of water. They start pulling fluid from all over your body. And what does your body do when it loses water? It asks for that water back. That's thirst. See what's happening? These aren't two separate problems. It's one problem showing up in two different ways. And there's one detail in all of this that almost nobody notices. And that detail is exactly why so many people wait years before asking for help. I'll tell you what it is in a moment. The other signs that can come with it. First, let me give you the full picture, because fatigue and thirst rarely show up alone. When blood sugar has been high for a while, your body usually sends other signals too. Getting up at night to use the bathroom. Once, twice, 3 times. A lot of people think it's their prostate, or that it's because they drank too much water. Sometimes it's actually the other way around. They're drinking water because they're losing too much fluid. Constant dry mouth. That feeling like your tongue is sticking to the roof of your mouth even after you've had something to drink. Vision that gets blurry from time to time. Things look blurry, and then your vision clears up again. This happens because changes in blood sugar affect the fluid inside your eyes. Cuts and sores that take a long time to heal. A cut on your foot, an ingrown toenail, skin irritation that just doesn't seem to heal. Tingling or numbness in your feet and hands. Itchy skin, especially in skin folds, and infections that keep coming back, like yeast infections or urinary tract infections. And in some cases, unexplained weight loss. You're eating the same amount or even more, but you're losing weight. This happens because when your body can't use sugar properly, it starts burning muscle and fat to survive. Now, that detail I promised you. The detail that makes people wait. Here's the detail. These symptoms develop slowly, very slowly. Nobody wakes up one morning suddenly feeling thirsty. The thirst increases a little bit every month. The fatigue slowly creeps in. And human beings have an incredible ability to get used to things that gradually get worse. So people start explaining each symptom separately. I'm tired because I've been working too much. I'm thirsty because it's hot outside. I'm getting up at night because I drank water before bed. Each explanation makes sense on its own. That's why it works so well, and that's why it fools so many people. Your body doesn't speak in a single sentence. It speaks through a combination of signs. When you put the pieces together, the full picture starts to appear. And I want you to remember something. Noticing this now is not bad news. It's an advantage. Because with prediabetes and the early stages of type 2 diabetes, lifestyle changes and medical follow-up can often make a major difference. The earlier you act, the better your body tends to respond. When it's not blood sugar. Now, I want to be honest with you because I don't want you leaving here unnecessarily scared. Not every case of fatigue and thirst is caused by high blood sugar. There are other common causes, and some of them are very simple. Actual dehydration, from hot weather or not drinking enough water throughout the day. Medications. Diuretics for blood pressure, some antidepressants, and allergy medications can all cause dry mouth. Thyroid problems, anemia, sleep apnea, when someone snores and still wakes up tired, too much salt or too much coffee. And yes, anxiety and stress can also cause fatigue and dry mouth. That's why I would never tell you from here that you have a medical condition. Lab tests and your doctor are the ones who determine that. My role is to help you recognize when it's time to get checked. When to pay attention. So let's get to the main point of this video. When should you pay attention? Pay attention if your thirst and fatigue have lasted more than 2 weeks in a row and don't improve with rest and water. Pay attention if any of the other signs on the list show up with them. Waking up at night to urinate, blurry vision, a wound that won't heal, tingling in your feet, or unexplained weight loss. Pay attention if diabetes runs in your family, if you had diabetes during pregnancy, if a doctor has ever told you that your blood sugar was borderline, or if it's been more than a year since you've had it checked. And there's one situation that isn't just a warning sign. It's an emergency. If intense thirst comes with nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, rapid or labored breathing, fruity smelling breath, severe drowsiness, or confusion, you need emergency medical care. Don't wait for a regular doctor's appointment. Go to the emergency room. So what should you do in your day-to-day life? First, write it down. Take a piece of paper and for 7 days, keep track of how many times you get up at night, how thirsty you feel, and what your energy levels are like. That information is incredibly valuable during a doctor's appointment because it helps your doctor see the pattern. Second, make an appointment and ask for the basic blood sugar tests, fasting blood glucose and hemoglobin A1C, commonly called A1C. It shows your average blood sugar over the past 3 months. It's a simple, inexpensive test, and it's available through the public healthcare system. Third, in the meantime, drink water. Plain water. Don't replace your thirst with soda or packaged juice because that can feed the problem. And fourth, the most important one, don't stop, start, or change any medication on your own. Not because a neighbor told you to, and not because of a video on the internet, including mine. Your doctor is the person who should adjust your treatment. I want to end with something I truly believe. A lot of people in our generation were taught to just put up with things, not to bother anyone. To wait and see what happens. Then 1 year goes by, then 2, and your body keeps asking for help in the only way it knows how, through fatigue, thirst, and restless nights. Listening to your own body isn't being dramatic. It's taking care of yourself. It's the same kind of care you've given everyone else your whole life, except now you're turning some of that care inward. If this video made you think of someone, send it to them. It could be the conversation that finally gets them to schedule the appointment they've been putting off. And I really want to hear from you. Which of these signs have you experienced? Write it in the comments. Just the sign itself, without mentioning test results or medications. I read every comment, and your comments tell me what topic I need to cover next. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because every week I bring you another topic like this, explained calmly and in a way that's easy to understand. Thank you for staying here with me until the end. Take care of yourself, because that's not vanity. That's what keeps you standing for the people you love. See you in the next video.